All right, Apollo, let's do this. Hey there, everyone. It's Anthony, back with another video here on Single and Placing. Hi. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Weekday, weekend, week, month, evening, morning, overnight, all of that good stuff. Today we are out here doing a little cruise around town with Apollo. And yeah, make sure to leave in the comments how things are going for you. We're just walking around town. Wanted to give you a life update, let you know how things are going. But I also wanted to film on my new camera. It came in. Yay! It actually made it. It got here yesterday. And so I've already been playing with it. I did a finish and review yesterday for Fushimi Inari, so that's the first time I've used this new camera, so you'll have to let me know how that looked. But this will be technically the second vlog I filmed with it. I filmed one last night walking around town, but I spent a lot of time just kind of like stopping and playing with the settings and stopping and playing with the settings and doing this and that because I didn't really have too much time to watch a lot of YouTube videos. And so I was like, you know what, let me try again. So I did respond to a few comments last night, but I'll probably I'm sorry. Sorry if I gave you a like and a heart and you didn't hear my response, but we're gonna just try again. The footage looks fine, but I just want to try again. So yeah, this camera, there was a chance that I wouldn't be able to get my hands on it. I placed the pre-order, but there was a chance that the DJI ban that I've been talking about, this brand of products, there's a ban coming up in 10 days, 11 days, of new products of theirs being sold in the US. So this camera did get the clearance to be sold prior to the ban, but there was a lot of worry that they wouldn't be shipped in time, and if they didn't get shipped in time, then they wouldn't make it across seas. Well, they made it just under the wire. So I got a shipping notification on Monday. Today's Thursday. On Monday, that my camera had shipped, and I bought it from a reputable camera store based out of New York. Pretty big shop. So I got the shipping notification. I'm like, no way, they actually were able to get it done. And it came in 2 days. So it's here, and you'll have to let me know how it looks. And we're filming towards the end of the evening. We've had these beautiful sunsets here in Colorado the past couple days, very colorful sky. We kind of have this yellow, but yesterday we got like a purplish red kind of sky. It was very pretty. So you'll have to let me know, and I'm hoping as it gets darker, as we go on our walk, that'll kind of show off this camera's ability to film in low light, which is kind of one of the main reasons is I picked it up is it's supposed to perform much better in low light. So we'll see how it does as we transition to nighttime. We're going to walk downtown, maybe take a look at the Christmas lights. We'll see how dark it gets by the time we get down there. But it also has what they call a macro lens on it. So it's an extra add-on that I had to purchase. And this lens lets you film in regular mode. So right now I have it to regular mode. But you can also do a person mode or vlogging mode. You just turn it to vlogging mode, and that's if I have the camera facing me and we're talking. And it's supposed to have me in focus, but then the background will have a little bit of softness, kind of like a blur. Very mild, but still there. Whereas right now, everything will be in focus. And then you have the little flower icon, which is like really up close. So that's if you're 6 inches away from your subjects approximately. And that's if I'm going to do shots of like flowers or food or something like that, so you really get the food in focus and then that blurred background. So that's what I've been trying to play with and adjust and learning about it, so we'll see how it goes. But we've got a sniffy little boy here today, and yeah, so I'm excited to start editing with this and do some color balancing and do some fun shots. It'll be really nice once the next coaster season starts on the other channel to be able to do a full day at the park and not have to worry about, is it going to look good during the day or night. But anyway, potty break. So this way, baby. Okay, let's go. Let's go. So yeah, he's been extra hyper the past couple of walks. So tomorrow I do have to work, but I am going to try to finish as early as I can. And if I can start early and finish early, get him out to the off leash so he can run and sprint, because it has been a minute since he's been off leash. I just haven't had too much time to do the drive over to the off leash dog park, and you know, it gets so dark so early that it's just tough to make that work. Usually by the time I'm off work, it's pitch black. So yeah, I figured we'd do this and walk around. I really want to get the drone at some point and do a nighttime shoot downtown, so I can do the Christmas lights through the creek, and maybe even do like a flyover of downtown with all the Christmas lights. But it's just been kind of gusty and blistery and windy every day, and so I don't want to risk the drone flying off into the distance, getting blown away. So I'm sure it's fine, but I just get am like, it's a big investment. So even like today, there's a breeze, and I'm like, oh, this would be too much, even though I'm sure it wouldn't. I get scared. So I'm like, you know, that's a good chunk of change that could fly into the creek if it gets a good gust of wind. So I'm like, yeah, I'll just wait till we have still weather, and run out and do it. So, but it's the season, you know, we get these storms that come in with a little bit of rain or snow in the fall, and you know, it's just a little windy, but it's crazy because everything has this like yellowish kind of hue to it just because of the sunset these days. And it's beautiful. It's like very vibrant. Okay, come on. Let's go up here. So yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. That's the biggest news I have is is I have the new camera. I actually got it in, so I'm really excited. I've been learning a lot about some of the other accessories you can snag for this camera, and one of them is essentially a cage, like a metal cage that goes around it, and it has a little hand grip. You know how like a bigger camera will have that little bump where you can rest your hand. They actually make a little cage that goes around this that you can do that with, so it makes it really easier to hold the camera facing you or facing away. And from what I understand, this camera is really good at still shots, which is not normal for these types of action, sporty action cameras. So it's actually really good at like still shots and stuff, especially with the macro lens. So that cage and being able to have a sturdy hold as opposed to holding it like this, I can like hold it like this. Supposed to be really good for still shots. So I might try to learn a little bit more about still shot photography with this camera, so then I can start taking more pictures of coasters and stuff, of course, but like pictures of Apollo, that type of thing. So I'm super excited. I'll probably order that probably tonight when we get back. And what was the other thing? Oh, I also found out that the same company that makes those cages also makes a LED light that just clips right onto the top. So if we're out doing vlogs or whatever, and I have the camera on my chest like this, instead of having my little head mounted light, I can turn on the camera light, and that'll come straight out from my chest and hopefully illuminate things a little bit better. It's good for nighttime photography, almost like a flash. So, and it was like, I think it was $11 or something. It's very affordable, and it has like an 11-hour battery life, and I don't know, it was a hot deal, so I'll probably snag that too. I have them in my, I think I put them in my cart, I don't remember, but I didn't click buy because I was like, let me read some more reviews. And so I'll watch a couple more review videos and stuff, but from what I'm seeing so far, that's very well regarded. So I'm hoping this new setup can have me happy and be functional for what I do both here and the other channel for the next couple years, 2 or 3 years. Maybe by then this ban will get figured out. So yeah, I'm very excited to see this footage in particular. I'm like, ooh, this is exciting. Wonder what it's gonna look like. Come on, buddy. Good boy. So yeah, that's really all I was talking about in the last video. And I started responding to some comments, got kind of sidetracked with one comment in particular, was just going on and on about like the Diamond Art Club VIP Facebook group and customer service and all this stuff. Just this tangent, you know, I go on tangents, but this one felt particularly long, and like, I was like, that wasn't even remotely related to what the question was. And I was like, I don't know if I want to share this. And then again, I kept stopping, like, hold on guys, let me see if I can fuss with this. Let me see if I can play with this. And I think what I've learned is just to keep it on auto, and let the camera and the software do its work instead of trying to fuss with it manually. And as I get better at learning the different settings and all that stuff and all the different functionalities, then I'll start playing with it some more. But I just felt like I was bringing you along. It was the first time I'd filmed a vlog with this camera, and I should have not used the first time to try to play with it. So it was just kind of very disjointed. So I'll probably not share that vlog. But hopefully this one I'm just leaving everything on auto. I am going to probably stop and take some pictures and stuff with the new lens, and then that's that. But I'm excited, and I know this channel's turned into like a filming gear channel, but as well as diamond painting, but it's becoming an interest of mine. You ready? Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Go, go, go. Come on. Good boy, good boy. Nice job, buddy. Nice job, Apollo. Come here. Hi. Hi. Hi, cutie. Hi, cutie. He's like, what else can I get into? Hi, sweetheart. Okay, come on down. Woo, good boy. Do you want to get up on this one? Let's get up on the rock. Are you ready? Are you ready? Go, go, go. Good boy, you got it. Come on, leg up. Leg up. Good boy, keep going. Up, up. Good boy. Good job, so pretty. Can I take a picture? So yeah, the sky is just this like super intense amber color, and then you have like the really like intense blue sky. It just looks like, it looks fake. It looks fake because the colors are just like so vivid. Like we're not getting that like gray, kind of grayish sky. It's like very intense hues. So I can only imagine what it looks like on camera. I'm probably even more intense. but I've been seeing a lot of people out here with their cameras taking pictures. Like this gentleman's got his camera out. People have been yesterday and today just out here taking pictures of the sky because it's just wild. It's really pretty. So anyway, that's what's been going on with me. Is just enjoying playing with the things, you know. And I feel like every couple of years I probably need to like upgrade a little something if I feel like I need it or there's something new, because it definitely like renews my like spark for like, let's get out there and film, let's do something, let's try to film this. Should I film this? Should I bring my camera? I don't know, there's something about having something that's relatively new, you know, first year or 2 years, where it's just like, ooh, let's see what I can do with this, you know. So it's been, even though I've only had this for 2 days, I've been like today at work, which we'll get to. Today was kind of hectic, but I did have some time to kind of put on my earbuds, and I was listening to some vloggers and photographers and filmographers that use this setup or have been using it for the past couple of weeks because it's very new. What they've been liking, not liking, certain settings that they've found useful, certain things that they immediately changed, you know, that type of thing. So I was trying to do some of that yesterday prior to watching some of that stuff. I'm like, let me take a step back. But for now, until I learn more and I'm quick about doing it and remembering to make adjustments depending on the scene or the time of day or the type of shot I'm doing, leaving it on auto and just letting it do its own thing is probably my best bet for right now. Because from what I understand, it does a really good job on its own. So it's just that little fine tuning that you can play with. So yeah, but I mean, look at that. That's crazy. Wow, 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 wow. So pretty. I hope it's like that, and actually the wind has kind of died down, but I'm not gonna walk all the way back to the house to get the drone, but I'm hoping we get skies like this tomorrow and it's not windy, because I'm working from home, so I can snag the drone and do a little bit of filming before we go to the off leash or something like that. I don't know, who knows, but it is really pretty. Okay, sniffy time. So yeah, that's what's going on there. I'll tell you, at work we had our Christmas Village competition today, and I did take a couple little video clips and some photos of the finished village, so I will certainly add those here or somewhere. Editing Anthony, don't mess that up. Show everyone the village. But it was a lot of fun. It went well. We had this really cute hot chocolate cart that one of our team members was assigned to, and he's usually not super into the artwork and creative stuff that we do and the little contests and stuff, but he came through. He brought these really cute little tumblers for the hot chocolate. Like, oh, some dogs are going at each other over there. These really cute tumblers, like thermal tumblers that had these cute little Christmas sayings, and I think they were intended to be like wine tumblers, but they almost look like little Christmas light bulbs. So he got those and hot chocolate, and it was just like the way he set it up was just very cute. He like created a whole cart. Then we had our whole village that we did, and it was good. It was good. It ended up not being as like taking the fun out of it because of the competition that it felt like in the lead up to this. Everyone was walking around and looking at each other's stuff, and everyone was being friendly and nice. And the one lady that had made that comment before was being totally cool. So the way that they did it is they had 3 judges from different departments that hadn't come down to see what we were working on at all. So it was their first time seeing it. They didn't know who was on each team until they finished the judging. So they didn't know who was where, so they couldn't play favorites based off of who was on what team. So they didn't even know which teams we were on. So we all just kind of stood back and let them go through. Then they filled out their cards and filled out their scoring cards. Then they went back through and did a second run, just to take a closer look at the villages and stuff. And we were graded on making sure that we incorporated a visual trick or something visually interesting, like a moving part or something like that. So for ours, we had the miniature train going around in circles, and then we had the movement of the Borealis lights going on, and then we also had, was that it? I think that was the only movement. And then I created a Canva video that had Christmas music in the background, and it had the Borealis lights, and then it talked about what Aurora Borealis is and our inspiration, and it was like, come visit the winter village, blah, blah. I wrote this whole thing last night and put that Canva video together. So that was running on a 10-minute loop at the front. So we had that. We also needed to use a natural or recycled product of some kind. So we had this old craft paper that we reused. We built a lot of it on boxes that we found throughout the office. So we built a lot of it on these boxes as like the supports. And then my supervisor went out and got some of we have these buckets of like sand and stuff that they use for like de-icing the sidewalks. So we grabbed a couple cups of that and used that for like around the mountains and around the little ice skating lake and stuff. So we did that. So, and then the last thing was to incorporate the village. So decorate the village. And of course we went crazy with that too. So we checked off all the boxes and and ours was Winter Wonderland. Candy Cane Lane, they had an actual like river that they kind of made. So they used like an aquarium pump to pump water to the top of this kind of hill, and then it went down this foil to look kind of like a river, and then it went into what was to be the lake. It was like a pie dish. And then once it filled up, they had to like empty it out and do it over again. But they only needed to do that a couple of times. It was really just for the judging, which was really cute. And they dyed the water blue. So that was really cool. But and they did decorate their village pretty good with like some little signage and stuff. And then they had a lot of candy cane decor everywhere. And they wrapped essentially the whole cubicle in candy cane wrapping paper. And then they had these PVC pipes that they wrapped in red ribbon to create like a little archway that you walked under that said Candy Cane Lane. So that was really cute. But the knockout piece to theirs was a beautiful food spread. Like their tasting element was kind of their focal point. And one of their team members is just an amazing baker and great cook. She made these awesome homemade cake pops that were to die for. I had the red velvet with the cream cheese, and she had like 4 different kinds. They had a decorate your own gingerbread, homemade gingerbread man station, and the gingerbread was like some of the best I've ever had. And then she had these beautiful mini cupcakes that instead of using a cupcake wrapper on the bottom, it was like the sugar crystals. It was just, I was really impressed, and it looked just so good and put together. Fantastic. And then the last team was the Rustic Christmas, and this is the team that a couple of people on the team were given a little sass as we were working on our villages in the lead up to today, and that was the situation where it's like, it's just kind of taking the fun out of it when someone's like trash talking you, and it doesn't seem like they're doing it in a cute way. But anyway, so they did, theirs was rustic Christmas, and so they built this entire log cabin, and then you walk in through the cabin false wall, and then one cubicle was set up like a living room and the other cubicle was set up like a dining room. And they had some lights and stuff. I mean, it was very cute and it was just very cozy. But it was basically just, it was, you know, whatever you could find at Home Goods. It was just a whole Home Goods setup, you know, and it just kind of looked like, you know, like when you go into IKEA and they have like the fake room set up, it was kind of like that, but Christmassy. But it was just a lot of like purchase things just kind of laid out, which is okay. But anyway, so I think that team thought they had it in the bag because of how much space they took up with their setup. But again, they did not decorate their village at all. It was just out of the box, set on a shelf as decor, as part of this whole cabin that they had built. Whereas the other two teams had actually decorated the village, and that was like the whole thing. It was a village decorating contest. So that was kind of mentioned to the judges, is like what was the theme, or what was the assignment. And our our supervisor, who is the head of HR, was like, the goal was to decorate the village and then expand upon that. So I think they took that into consideration with their judgment, and Candy Cane Lane won. And it completely makes sense because theirs was incredibly interactive. Like there was a whole cookie decorating little station, and decorate the cupcakes, and you could dip your cake pop into like sprinkles and stuff. Like it was just very involved. Plus they had decorated the village, and they had the whole Candy Cane Lane archway, and the water feature thing was really cool. So it was kind of, once I saw their completed setup, I was like, if they don't win, they should have won. And they did win. We got second. And so I was very happy with that, because I think we put a lot of heart and effort into ours, but it wasn't that grandiose. Like I said, we didn't make anything life-size because we built ours around the village. So it didn't necessarily have that big feel, like you're not walking through like a human-sized archway or anything. We made tiny little details. My boss went to town, and she like took these tiny little gingerbread men that were about that big and put them on what do you call those? I don't know what you call those. They're like the felt things. It's like a metal, you use them all the time when you're doing crafts as a kid. It's like a metal wire with like fuzzy felt all over it. What are those called? I don't know. I forget what those are called. But anyway, she like glued some of those to look like rope, so it looked like the gingerbread men were mountain climbing or rock climbing on the side of the mountain. She like did all these little details. And so anyway, so they gave us commentary on what they liked about each one of ours. And ours, they said, was the most like technically creative and had the most intricate detail and kept to the decorating of the village the best, which I liked, which I appreciated them noticing that. But at the end of the day, they really liked the whole interactive aspect of the other one, so which made sense. I was really impressed. So it ended up being a lot of fun. I could tell that Rustic Christmas ended up getting third place, even though I think then they really felt like they had number one in the bag, and that was that. But they ended up getting third place out of 3. So it is what it is. I'm very happy with how ours performed. And when I feel like when people that weren't judging, we had a bunch of people from different parts of the building organization, just through word of mouth, heard that we were doing this thing and were coming down to take a look and getting some hot chocolate from our hot chocolate bar. Oh, and I don't know what the Rustic Christmas team did for their tasting element. I don't remember. I don't know what it was. But yeah, we'd have people from other, around the organization come down to look, and I'd be like, oh, hey, grab some hot chocolate. Let me turn on our lights for you, because we had all these different lighting elements too. And they would walk around the office, and then as they're leaving, they're like, we think yours is the best. I'm like, oh, thank you. Or your team's is the best. It's kind of funny because I was like, we had my supervisor was on my team. She had a bunch of meetings today, so she wasn't really there other than for like the judging. And then we had a couple other coworkers that were just, in and out of meetings or doing other stuff. So I was kind of the only one sitting there working next to the display all day. So I was kind of like the de facto, like if someone came around to look, I'm like, okay, let me go turn on the lights for you and, give you the whole spiel. And so, I don't know. I think we might have won fan favorite. But we got second place for judging, which I think is exactly how it should have gone. I mean, the amount of baking that the Candy Cane Lane team did, and like all of their intricacy and detail was in like their tasting element, which of course is going to win a lot of people over, the food of it all. So it was cool. It was fun, and it didn't seem like there were any hard feelings. I could tell that the Rustic Christmas team member that had pretty much did the entire thing for the team was a little bummed at first when the announcements or the winners were announced, or what place we were all in, but I think she got over it. And then we were giving out the little tumblers, the hot cocoa tumblers. So I was like, come over and grab a tumbler. She's like, okay. So she came and looked at our thing, and I mean, we all did a good job. I think we all did a good job. I was just a little turned off by a little bit of that intense competitive attitude that I was feeling as we were prepping. But day of, seemed like everything went okay. And I think, I don't know. I hope that next time we get teams that are mixed up again, or that we don't just keep the same team every year. We mix it up, because there's certainly people in our HR team that aren't as interested in doing this kind of stuff, but they'll do it if they feel like it's kind of like an obligation to participate. And then we have people on the other end of the spectrum that are like, oh no, I will take the lead, and I am super invested in this. And I fall somewhere in between. But I feel like that Rustic Christmas team had a few people that were very hands-off and kind of like, I'm doing this because I kind of feel like I need to. And then they had like one person that was hyper invested. So it was very easy for that one person to kind of take the lead, because the other people were like, yeah, go for it, girl. But I hope they mix it up that way. Maybe that person gets a couple more people that are super invested alongside to help toss ideas around and say, well, what if this, or don't you think we should have that? Because I think that entire setup was just kind of a one-person show, essentially. And if you don't have someone there that is also invested in it to be like, well, do you think we should maybe change it up because of this? Or maybe we have we thought about how, is this following the theme? Should we focus on making sure that we're checking off all these boxes? I think that they would have fared better if there was another opinion, or someone that had another idea or different ideas. And I think that's where the Rustic Christmas team kind of lost, because if I was on that team, I would have been like, hey, I love this whole cabin idea. I think it's great, but we really should do something with the actual village that we're meant to decorate, instead of just taking it out of the box and setting it there, whether it be painting it or adding some extra stuff. Like the villages had lights built inside of them, so you could turn them on and the whole village lights up. We were the only team that even knew that the village lit up. So everybody else had the lights off on it, And then the judges came around, they're like, oh wow, you guys ran lights through the village. I'm like, no, it came like that. And I hear one of the other teams go, what? I'm like, yeah, it turns on. It already came with batteries too. And they're like, oh, we didn't even know. And it's like, well, if you had actually paid attention to the rules and were focusing on the village, you probably would have seen that there's a switch on the bottom and it's fully lit and it's really cool. So just like stuff like that, where I think that the third place team probably could have used someone else that was invested to be like, well, how about this? Or let's not forget that we should probably make sure that we have this, and then like other things too. So I don't know why I'm going on and on about this, but it's just, I found it interesting once Judgment Day, when judging came around, because I really did today was the first day I really walked around and took a good look at everything. And today's the day where pretty much everyone was putting final touches, so you could really see the completed project. So the Candy Cane Lane team had done that water feature, and then so the Rustic Christmas team found out that the Candy Cane Lane team was doing a water feature. They didn't know what it was, they just knew it was a water feature. So then they went out to Home Goods, or someone had one at home, and just brought in like a little rock waterfall, which really didn't fit the theme of a rustic Christmas. It was like a really modern looking kind of rock thing. So it was more about like just a tit for tat than it was like adding to the, you know what I mean? So it just felt like a little, I don't know. I feel bad for them in the sense that it did look very cute and it was very cozy. And they did, the person that worked on it put a lot of work into it, but it wasn't really to the actual, like, assignment, Kind of lost the plot a little bit, but that's okay. Let's go this way. Come on, buddy. Come on. Yeah, I feel like they lost the plot a little bit, and that poor village was just kind of shoved up on a shelf, amongst a bunch of other just decor, like the waterfall thing and just a bunch of stuff, It was very full of stuff, but again, the contest was to decorate the village, so yeah. But it played out the way it should have. Candy Cane Lane team really went for it and had a really fun concept, and the interactive piece of it, of the decorating and getting the judges involved. Like, take some frosting and do a little design here and, decorate your gingerbread person. Whereas ours was more of like a very elaborate diorama that you're just supposed to sit back and look at while you sip hot chocolate. And we had little mini donuts. But that was it. It was just kind of a look at it. And that's also what the Rustic Christmas thing was. And I think where we won out is all the detail work and everything that we did. So anyway, Candy Cane Lane, well-deserved. Bravo. And I think having us in second place was appropriate. I think we could have vied for first had we gone a little bit more in depth with our interactive piece. But that's okay. We'll have next year, and we'll see what the assignment will be for next year. It's kind of crazy. I'm looking through the viewfinder, and how much light the camera is letting in makes it look much brighter than it actually is in real life. It's pretty dark out. Apollo, come on. Come on, buddy. So this camera is doing its job as far as supposedly being better for low light situations. The water looks really pretty tonight with the Christmas lights and everything. So, yeah. Maybe we'll go up here And as opposed to going all the way down, we'll come up here and head downtown a little bit. We'll make our way back to the house. Here's what I've eaten today. It's horrible. I need to go and actually make a real dinner. I had a Red Bull in the morning with a breakfast burrito first thing in the morning. And then I had just what we had for our tasting menu. So I had donuts, hot chocolate, cake pops, and a gingerbread cookie. That's what I've eaten today. Just a bunch of sugar, and I'm hungry. And so I need to go home and make a proper meal. I have a butternut squash soup that I could make, and then one other thing, and then I have a leftover kind of Mexican style meatball soup that I need to eat too. So, oh boy. So depending on how lazy I feel, when I get home I might just heat up a bowl of that soup, and then I'll cook tomorrow for lunch. Up. But yeah, you have the Welcome to Golden sign up there with Santa and the reindeer, and then Rudolph's nose is glowing. It's very cute. Oh man. Well, we'll get through downtown here. I'll probably just put some music to it, get through downtown, and then I will be back with you and maybe respond to like 2 or 3 comments on our way back home. So yeah, let's go. dokie. We're walking past Thai Gold and it smells so good. But I don't need to eat out tonight. I have plenty of food at home that I can either make or simply heat in the microwave. So maybe I'll do, I don't know. I need to cook that HelloFresh tomorrow at some point too. Maybe I'll do Thai Gold for lunch and then cook dinner. We'll see. Want to cross? Good boy. Come down. Come down. Come on. Oh my goodness. The one thing about teaching him to jump on like the little ledge and stuff is if there is a ledge, he would prefer to be up on it. So I have to like keep up with him to make sure he has enough slack in the leash to make his jump. So we did this one. Go. Yeah, good boy. We did this one last night and he leaped up there, but he jumped from way far away, way before I got up to it. So he like got thrown back and like smacked into it. I'm like, oh my gosh, he still made it up. I was like, are you okay? That did not look good. He seemed fine. He shook it off and I'm like, dude, you can't jump from 5 feet away. I know you can make it, but you've got a 4-foot leash attached to you, so you gotta chill. So yeah, one of the downsides is the fact that if there is a ledge, he wants to be on it if he can. Like, but we'll see. We'll see how long I allow him to do that before I have to start training him to not, because I start to get worried about his little joints. And I mean, this boy is on, oh gosh, we're both on a bunch of stuff right now. I take a lot of the supplements he takes, and usually I buy them for him, and then I end up taking them as well. But we're both on CoQ10 for heart. We're both on, it's called NAD or resveratrol, which is I think also supposed to be good for heart or joint. Come on, buddy. And then, oh my gosh, you just want to kick in the leaves, huh? We're both on celery seed, which I think is supposed to be good for like blood, circulatory, urinary tract, I believe, as well. We may have another potty break here in a second. He's looking potty-ish. Yes. So yeah, we're both taking that celery seed, and then we're both on, I think it's L-glutamate or something, which is also supposed to be, I think also supposed to be good for joint health. And then he gets bone broth. He gets green-lipped mussels, which are supposed to be awesome for joints. He also gets collagen peptides. We both take those. We both do collagen peptides. So I worry about his joints when he's jumping and launching, especially as he gets to an older age. I'm going to probably want him to not do that as much. But I'm trying to also, because I understand he likes to jump and likes to leap, and he's very rambunctious and he likes to run. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll get you on all this stuff in hopes to keep your joints feeling good, even though you work them pretty hard. So, and then if he's on a high jump where he's trying to jump down, I'll grab him by his little briefcase handle and kind of help lower him down, so it's not such a hard kit, and then I also will, like if he's laying down on laying down on the floor or in bed, sometimes I'll just grab like the joint on his front legs and just kind of move it and massage it, just so hopefully it's not getting stiff or achy or anything like that. So yeah, I try to do stuff for him. And then when I'm feeding him and putting all that stuff out, I don't put capsule, like just the entire capsule in his food, because I don't think he needs that like gelatin or whatever they're in. So I break them open and just dump the powder or whatever it is into his food. But I'll set 2 capsules aside for me. Then as he's eating, I grab a glass of water. Oh, and turmeric, which is supposed to be good for inflammation. So I'll grab a glass for me, and I'll put or I'll make a tea. Sometimes I'll make hot tea. Put a scoop of collagen, L-glutamate or whatever, a scoop of turmeric in with like a lemon ginger tea or something, while he's eating, and then I just take all my little pills and drink my tea. So we get a lot of the same stuff. The only thing that I don't take is the green lip mussel, but I know that they make a green lip mussel oil for humans, so maybe I need to look into that, because I've heard that's really good for joints. So come on. But yeah, hope you liked that little downtown stroll. Come on, buddy, let's go. Good boy. And up. Good boy. Yeah. You're a little jumpy dog. And that's how I raised you, so I can't get mad. Yeah, you like to run and play and jump. But yeah, I guess let's talk diamond painting, and we won't get to comments. Tonight, maybe if I get a wild hair and decide to film a whip and chat or something, I will. But yeah, let's just talk diamond painting, shall we? As far as whips go, kitted up, not started. Sorry, let's start there. Kitted up, not started. We have Sedona Majesty by Abraham Hunter and Diamond Art Club. Winter Solace by Abraham Hunter and Diamond Art Club. We have what's it called? Oh my gosh. Caroline Smith. It is called I don't remember. Gosh darn it, brain. It's the kit that I'm doing for my cat, for Mia's cat event, year-long cat event. That starts in January. I'm doing a kit from Caroline Smith, and it's called I'll look it up once I throw this dog poop away. My hands are full. Can you sit? Can you sit? Good boy. Thank you. Cute boy. Yeah, you're being very patient and listening today. Yeah, you are. Okay. Good boy. Good boy. Come on. Welcome to Mia's Life with KFS. Sit down, get comfy, and let's get to it. Anytime I think of Mia, that song pops into my head. It's so catchy. All right, let's throw this poop bag away. Gosh, why can't I think of the name of that kit? Anyway, so that's my third, that's 3 kits that are kitted up, not started. And the only one I have planned to start on anytime soon is the Caroline Smith one because of Mia's Cats event. So, yeah. Okay, there is a trash. What do you think the name of that kit is, Appo? Maybe it's good that we didn't try responding to comments because I've only got 25 or 20% battery left. So that probably wouldn't have played out very well. Okay. The Inquisitor. I knew it was an I. I was like, Infatuation? What is it? The Inquisitor by Caroline Smith and Distracted by Diamonds. I've had that in my stash for a long time. Finally gonna get around to it. And I ordered some enhancement drills from DP with sparklers for it that are on their way. They should be here on Monday, I believe. So, yeah. So I've got that. And then I have whips. Garden of Earthly Delights, Hieronymus Bosch and Jada Gem Shop, no progress. Inner Garden by Yume Art and Diamond Art Club, no progress. And then I have my Muka for Muka Mania. I finished a section and a half on that last night, so I'm only 2 sections away from finishing my 3rd row. And that my goal is to do those 2 sections by the end of the month, which sounds like an easy feat, but I've just been moving so slow on that project that I hope I can get them done. It takes me usually about 1 to 2 diamond painting sessions to finish a section, depending on how long I'm feeling like working on all that confetti. Sometimes I'll just sit and just do that, and each section can sometimes take me 2+ hours. And I can just do that, and then that's it for the night. Or sometimes I'm like, okay, set a timer, or just set a mental timer, work on it for an hour, do an hour's worth of confetti, and then you get to move on to something else. So it just depends, but it usually takes me 1 to 2 nights to finish a section. Whereas certain kits I can get 4 sections done in a night, in a single night, depending on if it's round, if it's heavy confetti. So it just depends, but that one's moving slow. And I've pretty much told myself that once Muka Mania is over for 2025 and I do my wrap-up video and we'll do a live stream and all that stuff, that I'll probably put that kit away again and bring it out some other time in the year, or next Muka Mania, bring it out again. But I just have a feeling that's going to be a very long-term project for me. And it's not that it's bad. The quality is great. I'm having a blast working on it. Or I do enjoy working on it. It's just very time-consuming. And there's some other projects that I'm like, I'd really like to get that done. That'd be fun to do for I have a project that I still want to do for my brother. Yada, yada, yada. So I want to do this cat event for Mia. I was thinking of maybe participating in her Witches and Wizards event that also starts in January. So I'm like, I think this one will go back down into the basement until I'm ready to tackle it again. So we'll see. But once this 3rd row is done, I'd say I'm like 25% complete. So that's kind of where that is. And then my last whip is The Kiss by Gustav Klimt and Diamond Dots. I am cruising on that kit. It is moving so fast. There's a lot of line blocking and some detail work, but it's moving really quickly. Quality seems fine. The resin drills from Diamond Dots have always felt like just maybe a half step or maybe a full step below shops like Jaded Gem Shop, Diamond Art Club, where there's less facets, so they're less intensely sparkly. And so it makes them feel a little bit, more on the budget side, but I'm sure they're not. Very minimal trash so far. They fit together just fine. So I'm not having any issues. I just notice a difference in, I don't know if it's the resin mix they use, but it just feels different. Whoa. That guy just dropped a whole box of something out of his van. Should we go tell him? Let's go tell him. We gotta cross the street real quick. I don't know what that was. Should I get it? Should I get it? I'm scared. Okay. Hold on, everyone. Oh, it's heavy. I'm just gonna kick it over here. Okay, I mean, that's as best of my... I don't know what it is. I'm not gonna pick it up, but get it out of the road at least. Thank you, Apollo. That was a little bit of a dicey move with you. You could have totally just pulled me into the street. I don't know what that was, but a big old box of something dumped out of that van as it turned because it had its side door open. I'm not sure if it was Amazon or what that was, but I don't know. They were white bags and they looked like they had maybe mouse pads or something in them. And I was gonna I thought he was stopping over here at the end of this block because he had realized what had happened, but no, he was just waiting for traffic and then he just drove off. So, oh well. I don't know if that's supposed to now be my problem, but I'm not making it my problem. Anywho, so yeah, the regular color drills, we'll call them DMCs, even though that's not what Diamond Dots calls them. They're regular DMCs. Just, I don't know, it just feels like maybe a slightly different resin pour. It's just less facets. And then, but it's the metallics, which there's quite a bit of in this kit. I think there's only one shade of metallic, but there's a lot of it. They're just so much fun to work on because there's so much metallic detailing. And then each section so far that I've worked on has at least one special shape. So a square or a teardrop or a bar or something. And so I've been finishing all the regular drills, and then my little treat at the end of a section is to place my specials. So it's just, I really enjoy working on this Diamond Dots kit. Now, the whole masterclass business of it all, I think, is ridiculous, but the actual kit itself has been a joy to work on, to be quite honest. So, I don't know. I heard through a commenter that they have some new masterclass kits that they've put in a different box. So it's no longer with the jars, it's no longer kitted up. You just get your bags of drills like you normally would, and you kit up yourself. So I heard that, and that commenter, and we may respond to this comment again in the future. I don't think I've read that one on a video, but they went on to say, Anthony, that somebody had an unboxing with the new version and they have your exact kit. And I was like, wait, then why did I get the old one? So I pulled up the person that they had mentioned, and that person has Woman in Gold by Gustav Klimt and not The Kiss, which is what I have. They're two different pieces of artwork that we have. So it looks like the Woman in Gold is in the new masterclass boxes, but mine, The Kiss, is still in the old ones. So we'll see how this works up. If I'm really happy with it at the end, then I might give their updated masterclass kit or product a try and see if there's a redemption story to be had here. It's still $159.99, but it's a bigger size, at least 10 centimeters in either direction, bigger size than the one I have, at $50 less, and it doesn't have all of that kitting up stuff. So it's still a premium product, but I would bet, like if I wanted to get Woman in Gold custom from Jaded Gem Shop, I'd probably be looking at $100. And then if I wanted to buy all the metallics and the specials and all that stuff that come with the Diamond Dots kit, I'd probably be looking at $150. So that's less of a pill to swallow than $199.99 for a kit that's like 50 by 70. I think this one's like maybe 60 by 80. Let's see. Let's check. So I may have not completely written off Diamond Dots just yet, because I really am having fun with the Kiss, and I'd say I'm a quarter of the way done already. Like I did these big sections. I'm probably doing 10 by 15 sections, and I've already done my first row and like the first 2 sections on the second row. Like I'm blitzing through this project. I think the next section I'll work on is the first section that has micro dots. So I'm really excited because I'm going to work on that tonight, because I did my Mooka last night. So tonight I'm going to work on the Kiss, and I think tonight I will be able to get to micro dots, and that'll be fun. So you can hear I'm excited about this kit. It's just that stupid masterclass nonsense really killed it for me, but I'm coming back around now that I'm actually working on the canvas. So let's see. Apollo? Nope, that's a rat poison box. You don't need to go anywhere near that. Are you crazy? Woman in Gold Diamond Dots. Michaels? Does Michaels really have it? Oh, it's online only. It doesn't say what brand it is. That's very strange. Our Diamond Dots Facet kit comes with everything you need to complete. Stunning diamonds. It doesn't say if this is the Masterclass kit, but I would assume it is because it's $149. Oh, no, it's not. Wow, they're charging $149 for the non-Masterclass version of that? Ooh, Michaels. You might want to... Don't go all Joann's on us, Michaels. You might want to adjust that price. Okay, let's cross the street. Okay. How much is Diamond Dots charging for Women in Gold regular? They're charging $89.99 on the Diamond Dots site for the non-Masterclass version of Women in Gold, and Michaels is selling that exact same kit for $149. There's got to be something wrong with it. That's got to be... Does that sound like something they do? That seems wild. Anyway, let's get back to the business at hand. So I'm just going to Masterclass and then clicking on Women in Gold. So it's $149.99 for the Masterclass version, which is a full drill with the micro dots. And that size is, of course, it's in inches. Do they give you the centimeters? Anyway, it's bigger. I'm sorry. It's 26.4 by 35.8 inches, whereas the Kiss is 22.1 by 28. So it's 4 inches wider and about 7 to 8 inches taller. This is not massively bigger, but I mean, that's the difference between what I'd call kind of a medium-sized kit and a large size. So I think that's pretty decent. So it's bigger, it's $50 cheaper, bigger, and it's $50 cheaper, and hopefully how they package it is much less crazy. But anyway, we're home now, so I'm gonna let you go, but thanks for coming along. You have to let me know what the nighttime shots look like on this camera. If the marketing and all the enhancements that they've done to this version prove to be true, so if that's all true, then this should have been less grainy and more of a clear nighttime walk than like the super grainy kind of pixelated nighttime shots that my old camera used to get. So you have to let me know. But don't forget to like, subscribe, share this content with friends, family members, anyone that you think might take some value out of it. Happy placing. We'll see you next time. Bye, 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 bye. Bye.